Okay, so let's bring things full circle. So we've already alluded to it, but where did the let's complete it. Where did the idea for Team Friday come from?
Um, so I think the idea came out when I was working with RMD. I think, RMD was great at multicultural. That's what they did. And I think I really was starting to dot connect a bunch of different aspects of my life at the time that I started Team Friday. It's like politics, belonging, socioeconomics, like all of these different, marketing, consumer behavior, like all of these kind of like institutional things that I had learned over the course of my, starting my career. And I really think you start your career at your first job because you start to learn things. Um, and decided that I wanted to think about or build a marketing shop that kind of connected the silos, right? So we weren't just going to be an experiential shop that did consumer experiences for these audiences and et cetera, et cetera. It's like I wanted to look at the work that was in between audiences. So how do we're not living in silos, if anything, we're living closer together. Um, because we're so connected on the internet, it's like I wanted to kind of like look at those kind of in between moments. And so there wasn't an opportunity to do that at RMD because they were pretty set on their vision and rightfully so. But I think for Team Friday, where that came out of was just the need, this kind of inkling or calling that you kind of keep getting. It's like that little voice that doesn't shut up. And so at some point it just got too loud to ignore. And the rest is kind of history. And then, 12 years, 13 years, almost 13 years later, we still have that same philosophy around looking at the in-between spaces as a part of our marketing um, and brand development.
So we've been talking about this, and you already alluded to the idea of marinating for a while. At what point do you say to yourself, "Screw it, let's do it. I'm going to move forward with it"?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there's ever a right time to make the leap. I think you make the leap as a part of, this kind of like unthinkable belief. I think, this ultra knowing that what you're going to do and put out in the world is going to work and there's someone for that. I didn't really know how it was gonna work. I won't pretend that I knew what running a business would entail. I kinda still don't. I feel like we
I
I've
hear that
learned
from a lot of
something.
founders.
I mean, it's crazy. It's a crazy kind of cosplay that we do a lot to kind of say that we'll figure it out. I don't know any founder that says I have everything figured out and, I don't have a new experience every year. Every year is a different experience. And so when people are like, "What's your day like?" I'm like, "Which day?" Like I don't, you never know what's going to happen or pop up. But I think it was just this knowing that I wanted to work in those segments in between. I wanted to work in the dot connection. I wanted to kind of marry all of my experiences, policy, socioeconomics, fashion, production, CPG, like every experience that I've had thus far into building an agency that kind of looked at those kind of weaving what's the weave of people, and using kind of a human development centered approach to developing work and developing working with clients who are really interested in getting to know their audiences better. A lot of us can do the technical stuff. The thing that sets everybody apart is their approach to how that technical stuff gets done. And so I really wanted to just kind of start using this kind of like, inkling that I had and start to test, does it make a difference and how does it make a difference and why is it so important to me? I think being mixed is one of those big things because I'm always in the hybrid. I'm always thinking about how my internal world experiences things and how they connect. And so I really wanted to see how we could do that, thinking taking a business model and trying to make something from it.
Where did the name Team Friday come from?
Yeah, so Team Friday is like really a playoff of Girl Friday and Man Friday, which is kind of like your right hand person. So I always think of our I don't think of our clients as clients. I think of them as partners because we're often testing stuff, we're piloting stuff together. And so we're in it with you. Like I strongly believe like we're in it to make all of us look good, right? Like not just the client, but we want to we're so committed to our work and our philosophy and how we do things that we want to make sure that we're partners in this. And so it was really just to kind of nod to that experience of like your right hand person, the person that you can turn to kind of like help you get to the next level.
We're getting close to the 13-year, have I got it right? The 13-year anniversary for Team
Yeah.
Friday? So what did the company look like day 1 versus what it looks like today? Like, what are the differences?
Well, I think day one is just me. And now we have a really amazing, awesome group of teams and partners and, clients and all of that stuff. I really started it with $15,000 in my savings account and not one client. So, really
Really?
started
Not
it
one
from
client.
not
Okay.
one client. I was asked where I was going. I told certain clients, but I also was like very adamant that one, I wasn't prepared to service, Fortune 100 companies as an independent consultant. But also like I didn't want to be disrespectful to other agencies that I had worked with, like if there was an opportunity to partner with people and kind of bring Team Friday into the fold, that ended up happening quite a lot. And we're so grateful for all of the people that we could partner with. But there's enough business for everybody. And I truly believe that. So there wasn't a need to kind of like steal clients or take them with me in any way. And also I wanted to get into different fields. I had worked in CPG and brand and entertainment at RMD. I really wanted to kind of go into what does a ballot initiative look like? What does it mean to take what Coca-Cola would do and apply it so that the county has park funding and we're voting on that. So I got to experiment a little bit in the beginning years and we're still experimenting to this day because nothing is ever truly set. But it looks quite different. I mean, I have an amazing team and we have amazing partners that we get to work with every day. And yeah, it's grown, which is it's kind of weird. It's weird to watch it and to be in it simultaneously.
It's interesting because you brought up the ballot initiative, and that's something, correct me if I'm wrong, it's very specific to California where there's a lot of direct democracy. And so
Mhm.
there seems to be a lot of opportunities to work on these sort of ballot initiative, micro level political campaigns that otherwise you wouldn't see in other states.
Yeah, I mean, I look at them as like causes, right? Like, do these causes align with kind of our value system and that need to kind of give back to community, which is so central to like how I grew up, just within my family unit. We don't work on candidate campaigns because that's just like not that's a part of our our philosophy as well. But I think like ballot initiatives like park funding or like, sales tax initiatives to like support the VA or something like that. I think those are worthwhile kind of because I truly believe that like in society, like you have like we're only as strong as the as the weakest areas, right, of our and I won't say weakest people because they're definitely out weak, but like the weakest areas or the weakest links in our systems. So the more we can empower the system, the better we're going to be, the better Team Friday is going to be, the better, we're going to have cleaner streets, we're going to have better parks. Like who doesn't want that, as we're kind of like building sustainably together, in the city and in the state.